Hey everybody, Mark here. I'm going to do a review of the Vinci Pro by XYZ Printing. The Vinci Pro is on our left-hand side. It is the fifth FDM 3D printer XYZ's came out with. And on the right-hand side is actually the Vinci, the first 3D printer that XYZ came out with about a year ago. So this video is primarily going to talk about what XYZ has done over the last year to improve their machine and what I like about it. So first off, let's look at the outside of the machine. You can see they look about the same size. A lot of the pieces are very similar. I like how XYZ Printing has these handles here. They're really nice. The new machine is gorgeous. You can see it has this beautiful red top to it, and it's like a metallic. It has some like metallic flakes in it. Looks very good. Keypad looks all the same. LCD display looks near identical. If we want to run over here to the one. Again, they really didn't do too much on the front. But first thing I noticed once I took it out of the box was how they made the front door. So the front door on the one, it's just a plastic. The way that it locks is it has this like little retention clip right here. Maybe you can see that. And the door closes. You got to close it pretty gently and it works. But if you try to slam it closed, it always pops open. So, got to be more delicate with the machine. But a nice feature with the Pro is they added some magnets right here. I really, really like this magnet. So there's one at the top and the bottom. So those magnets are super nice. And another little nice feature is they have a sensor here. So it says when the front door is open or closed. They don't have it on the 1.0. But again, so what's nice about it is when you close it, it stays closed. So let's go inside a little bit more. Again, like I said, the outside looks all about the same besides the color and those little features right there. But let's go inside and look at the 3D printer. So, if you guys are used to 3D printers, this is a pretty standard setup. This XY split with the X carriage this way and the Y carriage going this way, pretty common. You can see that on the MakerBot Replicator, Experimental, and some other 3D printers. Some nice features that I did see what they've done is they have added some pieces of sheet metal here. I guess maybe these bushings have popped out before on the 1.0. It's not another machine, so there is some added features there. Down here, they have thicker rods now. So these look like 12mm rods. Maybe with the bed, it was actually, on the older machines, it was shaking a little bit. So the nice thicker rods will make it a better Z print. Well, let's see some other stuff. On the motor itself, let me get something. But on the motor itself right here, these screws now have a little paint stripe on them. That's usually used to indicate if screws have backed out. So maybe they had some issues before. And that's just a way that they poke up their solution so they can tell and diagnose stuff better. As well as to service it a little bit easier. Instead of set screws now, they just have normal screws. So that is kind of the carriage. Let's go over to the left-hand side. It has a nice spring idler over here to keep this belt tension nice and tight. Going to the right-hand side, it has the drive motor. If you guys have noticed too, they have optical stops everywhere on the X, Y, and Z. I really like optical stops. They are really accurate, and because there's no mechanical switch, they should last a lot longer. But that's about it. So the extruder looks pretty normal. It has a heat cartridge instead of a thermistor. Really like that. As well as it has It has a, I think it's a thermocouple they use to measure temperatures. That's more accurate than a thermistor. But one big thing difference about this machine that we actually can look like is there's no motor right here. Where is the motor? So let's go over to the 1.0. And you can see we have the stepper motor right there. See that? Come back over here. No stepper motor. Where is it? Let's open the top door. And it looks like they actually have a Bowden setup for their extruder now. So what happens is the filament's pulled up right here. It goes through this extruder right here. And I'm taking this off. Let's see what's inside there. Oh, look how nice that is. They have a nice little access panel. So if you have any problems, you can get right in there and fix it. So I really, really like that. Good job. But that is the extruder now. So the extruder now is on the body, and it goes down this 2-inch PTFE tube to the hot end. You guys might know some other machines like this. Ultimaker has the same kind of setup. It's a really nice setup. If you have good calibration and good settings that I think they do, you should have really, really nice flawless prints. I'll show you some of my prints a little bit later, but they are really, they came out really good. Some other things about the machine that I like, now they have these little nuts in the back and all, or back, left, and right, and front, and this is how you adjust the bed. It actually has a connectivity switch. You might be able to see, that's this thing right here. And that's a little piece of metal sticking down on the extruder. It actually goes and touch each one of these each one of these pieces of metal, and it's like a switch. So when it can touch those off, it knows where the bed sits in relationship, and it'll tell you how to adjust now. If you guys have a 1.0 and you are so frustrated with trying to adjust the bed to make it level, this is so easy. It is easier than the MakerBot. It is easier than a riprap. It says it will actually, in the LCD display, once you do the calibration, it says which way to turn this. Like this is one turn, and it'll tell you how many turns you need to do. And it'll actually run the calibration 3 times, and the bed is perfectly flat. So I've told you what I've really liked about the machine. Let me tell you something I don't really prefer. Why are we going back to a tape bed? On this machine, it actually has a piece of masking tape, a big piece of masking tape, you can see it right here, stuck on top of this nice metal bed. And that's how you're supposed to print. It works, it sticks really well, but it doesn't pop off like if you guys have used the 1.0, when the bed cools down, it just pops right off. So that's one thing I don't really super like about it, but I'll show you guys later. I'm actually going to put a piece of glass right on top, and they have a Z offset value. So you actually can offset the Z value of the bed, and if you want to put a piece of glass instead, you can. So guys, you know, if you read it and it says a metal print bed, you can print on, right on the tape that's provided, or you can get a piece of glass and offset it. Or if you want to get a PCB board like some people do, you know, there's a Z offset value once you do your calibration, and you can put any material you want underneath it and print right on top of it. So that's really cool. Good job, XYZ Printing, for thinking about that. So what else is a little bit different about this machine? Oh, one thing, guys, XYZ, I got to gripe to you about this. I am a stickler for wires. Let's go into your first machine. See how you have these wires just exposed, just hanging down? Why couldn't you just add a clip and clip them in? I know this was almost a pre-release model, so I wasn't going to hit you guys hard on it for the 1.0. You know, the wire harnesses aren't that bad here. You know, I'm not really upset with the wire harnesses, but you guys have had a year. You guys, I mean, you've had a year, and the harnesses are just as horrible. I'm going to have to go back and actually add some tape or something, because these wires will rub and everything else, just like down here. I mean, at least you did add some of the Caterpillar sheet metal protector, that stuff that goes around it. I thank you for adding that. But wires that aren't in bundles, me not so fan. So please, if you guys are seeing this video, please put these somehow in some harness or something, because this could get back here and maybe it'll rub. I don't know. But that's your Z-Bed calibration right there. So do something with it. What else? What else? Oh, so as you guys know, this might have a laser on it in the future. So I would assume maybe the laser goes right up here. Don't know yet. On the sides, I don't see any plugs for a laser. I see some like the thermistor and the heated coil. I don't see, maybe we can use the phone. Maybe we'll see a plug. Oh, come on. You see anything there? Yeah, I don't really. But maybe there's some trick they're going to do. Maybe it's a wireless one. But that is about everything about it. Let's go back up to the top. There's another thing I really like is maybe some feedback. But sometimes these belts get loose, and they put a nice spring idler right here. Thank you for doing that. I have seen on my other machine that this belt has got loose, and I had to drop the motor down to make it a little bit tauner. So I think that, you know, Da Vinci or XYZ Printing, you guys have done your homework and have done a lot of improvements on this machine. That's why it's $200 more than the 1.0. Some things I did notice. Let's actually do a comparison. Let's do a comparison of two printed parts, and I'll show you guys the difference. This one right here was printed on the Pro last night. It looks really nice. Maybe if you can see that, let's see. Do you see that quality? That is a good printed part. That is standard settings, 2mm heights. Very good printed part. On the 1.0, I printed the same part, and it looks as good. It does have a little bit of bubbling. Maybe I can find it, and that's a pretty common issue. You see that bubbling down at the bottom edge right here? See how it has that little bit of bubbling? That's pretty common. I think with the extruder for the 1.0, but the new Pro, it is just a gorgeous print. I mean, better than a MakerBot Replicator Gen 5. I would say it's equal or better than an Ultimaker. And for the price tag of $600, I mean, guys, you can't go wrong with this machine. I mean, it really is a nice workhorse. So right now I'm printing a little bit of a detail part. You might be able to see. But look at that detail. I mean, you can see the brick and the door and the ramp that's being printed. It looks really, really slick. And as you guys are reading too, it can do different materials. This is just their stock material right now. But if it's running ABS, I don't see any warping problems with PLA. Polycarbonate should be a breeze, as well as any of the Widow stuff or anything else that you want to print on these machines. I really think it's going to be a great workhorse and a great addition. So let's see what else is on their front door. We can talk about it. So there is XYZware for Pro. It's a different software. I'm going to go over that with you guys in another video. But the Pro has so many different features in it to be able to adjust what's your bed temperature, what is your layer heights, what is your infill values. This auto feed, I was trying to figure out what that is, and I guess that's just the Bowden extruder. They just call it an auto feed, so that's not really a feature, guys. The direct drive I really like too, so I don't know if I would put that there. But it does say open system filament. That is a big plus here. If you guys notice with the other machines, they do lock you into filament. So that is super, super nice. I'm going to run some PLA later tonight, and I'll give you guys an update, but I think it's going to run great. Heated aluminum bed, we talked about a little bit. The aluminum bed does look really solid and really nice. I am going to put a piece of glass on top of it. I like having glass. I like printing on glass. Let's see what else. Oh, laser, and then future option. We'll see how the laser goes. It looked like it was pretty cool. It looked like it was maybe a diode laser or something. But that's going to be a really cool option for the machine. And the wireless. If you guys haven't done the Da Vinci wireless, so great. I really, really, really like it. The wireless, all you have to do is just go into their software, press a button. I'll do a video on it as well. But it's super quick, super easy. You can have the printer anywhere, just like just like a printer at the house, and using the XYZ Pro software print to it. And that's about it for the machine. I think it's well worth the price tag, guys. If you don't have a 3D printer, this is a great machine to get. If you're on the fence between getting the, close the door. If you're on the fence about getting the, on the right hand side, about getting the 1.0 or the Pro, if you got the money, go with Pro. It is a great machine. You don't have the money, or maybe you're just getting into it and you're kind of, testing the waters. They're both as easy to use. So again, I don't see a real big advantage with the 1.0. Maybe it's lower cost, but again, you can't have open filament. Doesn't have a heated, the heated bed is glass, so that's good. Print speeds, the Pro is running slower. When I did do a print, where are those little top pieces? When I did do a print, same build height. This is from the 1.0. So the Pro is a little bit slower. The Pro took about an hour and 20 minutes of print. The 1.0 took about an hour and 2 minutes of print. I did start them at the same time. I don't know if it was that far off. I'm actually print time. The heated bed on the 1.0 has a nice feature that it does do a little bit of preheat before it starts. The Pro did start with a cold bed. That was accounted for it. But it did look like the Pro was, the head was moving a little bit slower. As you guys know, this is a Bowden setup because, the motor's back there, so the head should be lighter. XYZ Printing, when they came out with the 1.0, the machine was slower than what it is now. It did have as good as quality. So even though they've had a year to upgrade and get some better features, I think they're probably slowing down the Pro just so they can work out all the kinks, and they'll slowly increase the speed. I would say in a month or so that the Pro will be going about 20-30% faster than the 1.0. So it should be a faster printer, and you can print in different materials. Guys, this is, again, I say this is a great machine. I would highly suggest the 1.0 or the Pro. If you have the extra dollars to spend, definitely get all the features that the Pro has. It has some great updated features. I would highly suggest this machine for personal use, for the office setting, engineering. Inside an engineering office, it's pretty quiet. It's quieter than a MakerBot. It's a school setting. It's a great machine for $600. You can't beat the price. You could actually buy 3 of these, get better service and maintenance than a MakerBot Gen 5. I have a MakerBot Gen 5 at work, and I have problems with it all the time. And they do have a great service program, but you pay $200-300 a year for the service program. So why do that when you can have a rock solid machine that will not break on you? I've had the 1.0 for over a year and a half now. Besides doing some belt tensioning, it's been a great machine. Again, the Pro has all the same features and then some updated ones in it. So I can only say that it's a solid and tested machine that's even going to be better than the 1.0. And the 1.0, as you guys know, is one of the highest ranked entry into service 3D printers that you guys can buy right now. So if you guys like my video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, issues, please post them below. I'll try to get to them in a timely manner. I have been around these machines a lot, so I might be able to guide you in the right direction or how to fix it. But if you guys have some parts that you want to see how it prints on the Pro, please put them in the link below. And maybe if they're from Thingiverse, put Thingiverse.com, as well as the part number. And I'll try to make separate videos for everybody with the parts and kind of what I like and what I don't like about after the print. So like and subscribe. And thanks for taking the time to look at the machine. I think if you get this machine, you're going to have a great time. Till later. Ciao.